Are we live again? What is it, 3 times in 1 week? Metrix, slow down. I'll never slow down. We gotta get through this one, guys. Grant Amato has been keeping me awake at night. I fell asleep listening to him. Actually, last night I think I fell asleep right at the closing of the stream. I started going on about Grant Amato going to Alentejo. What the hell? In case anybody doesn't know, Alentejo is a region of Portugal, like a county, I guess, and obviously he's not in Portugal. He doesn't even have a cam girl in Portugal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what the hell was that? I must have, and I start not being able to speak, but that's okay. We're going to be doing a short stream tonight, guys. We only have 20% of battery. We're going to take it all the way down to 3%. So it should be an hour. Let me check all this high-powered software is turned off. Okay. So I believe we were about halfway through Act 2, Scene 2. Of the Grant Amato interrogation. Welcome, friends, in the chat already. How's the audio tonight, guys? Is it good? Is it great? Is it the best you've ever heard? Fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. What do you say, Soap? Are the sound levels okay? Should we just roll tape, please?
Once a wise man told me one time, once a bond ended up getting off early. And then I had met with my brother before he came home, just like in the neighborhood area. And then it was just on the,
Okay, anytime Grant mentions time, anything to do with time or geography, his big tactic, his big breakaway, bust out of law tactic is to be really vague around time and geography. He says things like, yes, I was in the general area. Hey, rabbit, looking good. I was in the general area. You've got Fort Christmas, and you've got Salton Circle, and I was in the general area, the vicinity. I was just a ways away, and there was a guardrail and a long, long fence, and I was somewhere along that fence. It's not going to help you, man. Oh.
Like the back side of the house, like along, I don't remember what that road's called, but it's like you take the bend where it has those two blinking lights, and then it's just down that road a ways.
Not for Christmas.
Is it before Christmas when you still turn the corner?
I think so. I'm not sure. I think so.
Well, it was just down that road.
Okay.
And then I basically brought him up to speed, and he had told me that he was going to do whatever.
What time was that, you think?
God, what time was that?
What time did you go to, let me back up a second, I apologize. You, Mom, and Dad go to California Pizza Kitchen in Waterford at what time?
Oh, that was all the way back on January 4th.
Oh, you said Thursday.
No, that wasn't Thursday.
No. That was when I had come back from Cornerstone, and he was giving me the rules.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do Thursday then.
What happened? That Thursday that you meet with Cody down the street. Is this past Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about that.
After you and your dad.
We're going to be going through the rules. I believe that there's an exhibit from trial where the rules that Chad laid out for Grant are being allowed to come back to the house after he walked out of the $15,000 60-day inpatient program at the sexual online obsession clinic in Fort Lauderdale. Man, don't they have a clinic for everything in Fort Lauderdale? You could go to Fort Lauderdale tomorrow and say, listen, I have an addiction to bumblebee pornography. And they'd say, well, you just go to the corner of Ocean and Lincoln, Ocean and Lincoln, and the clinic is on that corner for the bumblebee pornography addiction.
Don't argue.
After me and my dad had argued, and he had told me, this is how it's going to be, and all that stuff.
Okay. This is at the house this past Thursday.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Bob from Recounting says, definitely an unflattering angle on Grant's skull. Unflattering angle. Man, the camera could be on the moon, and it would be an unflattering angle of Grant's skull. Yes, the only two man-made objects visible from space are the Great Wall of China and Grant's comb-over. Maybe that's what we should call his comb-over, just the Great Wall.
Because this is what now? Saturday? So,
yeah.
Right, yeah, past Thursday, I guess you could say. So then, yeah, I spoke with Cody. He told me about all that. He had given me his debit so that, because I don't have any money and I don't know where to go. I'd never been out of the house on my own.
This guy is 29 years old, I didn't have any money. I didn't know where to go. I'd never been out of the house on my own. And, if I'm not, if that's you right now and you're sat at home with no money and you don't know where to go, that's okay because you're you. But this guy is, an educated friggin' nurse with all of those long pharmacology words he has to remember. He doesn't know where to go. Well, you go to a place that's somewhere and you do things there. What does that even mean? I don't know where to go.
And then the last thing that I was told was just that, basically, once again, that he'll take care of it because
This is Cody.
This is Cody.
What time is this, approximately?
I'd say a little after 10:30ish.
Yeah, it was a little after 10 and a little before 3 in the morning, roughly. And there was a guardrail.
At night?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so then after that, I just stayed in the vicinity area for a number of hours. And then I had remembered over some of the nights when I would work overnight, and then I'd be able to get off early, that the Publix on 50 on Colonial, the one that's by the Tractor Supply.
419, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That Publix, it's their guest Wi-Fi is always still active even when the store closes down. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go there because I have my Surface, and I can, check on my emails. I had to pull up the address to my interview because I don't have GPS. So then I would write all that stuff down, and then I was basically just waiting in that parking lot until I had to leave to go to the interview. And then, that was the last, because again, it's no cell phone service.
Oh, man.
Email was literally my only form of communication. And then, I didn't have any, I went to the DoubleTree because I was I can't just stay in my car again all night.
Right. And how did you pay for that?
I paid for it with my debit card.
With your debit card?
Yeah. Because I think there was the $400 or $300 and something still left on it.
Okay.
Yeah. The tokens for the campsite, I had to use my dead brother's card to pay for that because I didn't have enough money to talk to Sylvie. But the DoubleTree, I paid for. And, the DoubleTree, it's not the most expensive hotel in the world, but it's not the cheapest. What are you going to the DoubleTree for, man? It's probably $150 a night.
Okay.
What time did you get there?
The DoubleTree, I think I got there at around 3 or 4 p.m.
Yesterday.
Friday. And then, then I was just, I would like go out to my car so I get like a bottle of water or something like that, or if I forgot something, just like necessity wise. And then I was just there the whole night.
Talk to Cody, talk to Mom, talk to
No,
Dad.
I couldn't talk to anybody because I didn't have.
But you had the phone in the room.
Oh yeah, I did have the phone in the room.
But
Yeah,
anybody from the phone room?
No, I didn't even honestly think about it because I was like, away from a place where I lived for 25 years or something like that. I had never, as embarrassing as it is, I'd never been on my own.
Right.
The longest period I'd ever been away from anybody is, yes.
What's the lock?
2112.
2112 for the lock on the cell phone. How about the iPad?
The iPad.
Physically, he's abusive.
Yes.
And it's kind of in the end.
I genuinely don't have anything else that I can say about the night or the period of time afterwards.
There's only one opportunity to make that good impression, and if we've done something we shouldn't have done, you fess up. You caught your hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, if you're caught with your hand in the cookie jar, cops, I really think they need to stop saying that. Maybe it works on someone who's never seen an interrogation video ever, but, on me, it's all I watch. So, yeah. Did you have your hand in that cookie jar? You got cookie crumbs all over your chin, Grant. And your chin and your forehead are just merged into one mass.
Or Chuliota or something like that.
And found what?
And then I saw that there was, it was like just the initial.
I'm trying to find the place where we were.
Like it had like a video, but I didn't listen to the video.
Because once we get to a certain point, there's nothing I can do. It's in the hands of who has it. Nothing I can do.
In the hands of who has it.
Honesty is always the best policy. You get caught stealing a car, you admit to it, I did it. How can I get help? What can be done to help me? And let me tell you the rest of my story. You're holding
And if
back.
something happened that you were defending yourself, then we need to know that. If you were protecting yourself because you were in fear, then that makes sense. But we need to know exactly what happened for you to protect yourself.
You can't minimize this. Once a wise man told me one time, once a bomb goes off, you can't defuse it. You can't. That's already out there. Now is the point to say, how do I put Band-Aids on myself?
Another piece of wisdom from Detective Danny. Once a bomb goes off, you can't defuse it. A wise man told that to Danny once, guys. Once a bomb goes off, you can't defuse it. Well, that makes total sense, doesn't it? But it's almost like saying, once a hot dog has been eaten, you can't put ketchup and mustard on it. But that's even better. Once the hot dog has been digested, there are no more ketchup mustard for that hot dog.
Minimize the injuries I have. And we're giving you that opportunity. I want to give you that opportunity. I don't think you're a bad guy at all. I really don't. I think you're going through a very stressful and emotional time right now with being out of work and just dealing with all the problems with the arrest. You're probably not used to depending on somebody to pay all your bills. So now you have to do mom and dad or have to give you money. Cody's having to give you money. And there's a significant debt to people.
Man, what is going on Discord? Neverly Dallin is running the show over there, guys. I think I should just give up this streaming game, hand over the reins to Neverly Dallin. Yeah. Okay. Well, I haven't looked at Discord since yesterday, but that's okay. I'll get there when I get there.
$1,000, I don't know what I'd do. I mean, mortgage, yeah, I get it, or something like that, or a medical bill for my child, yeah, I get it. But talking to some girl, in Bulgaria, you hit it right on the head. You were embarrassed about it, and you have nothing to be embarrassed about.
And
that.
you said you had a connection with her.
Sure.
And
Here it is, man. I want to help you. She want to help you. You gotta come to me with the truth now, because I already know the truth. I do. Here's the chance. You can shake your head no and say I don't know. You do know, and I know you know. She knows. She knows you know.
there's a reason you didn't go back to the house. There's a reason why you haven't tried to reach out. I mean, it's odd you haven't heard from anybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's words that, like, I can't think of to even say. But I'm assuming that, when you see that there is a shooting somewhere and it's around, and it has to do with my family.
Your family has no known enemies. Nobody has a problem with them. Nobody.
Right.
Continue what you were saying. You said when you
But I mean, that's like, I don't. Like, I don't know how to even say the words.
Well, give me a roundabout what you're thinking.
that
somebody in my family's dead.
Yeah, Neverly, darling, maybe you should give me like a walkthrough. Apparently, you're the ticket to passive income. I still don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Sounds appealing. I'm all ears.
And how does that make you feel if you're thinking that?
I have absolutely no ability to comprehend the words, because, like I said, I've been there for my whole entire.
Big pause. I have absolutely no ability to comprehend the words that I should be speaking. I mean, what a long-winded way to say, don't know what to tell you. I have absolutely no ability to comprehend the words.
Life, and even though there's been struggles and everything like that, there hasn't ever been any issues.
There's never been the struggles or the issues like happened Thursday. Never for you. I believe you 100%. I believe it's never been like that. But something happened Thursday, unlike anything you've ever experienced in 29 years of your life. Never.
And maybe you felt that was rock bottom for you. You were getting kicked out of the house. Your father gave you an ultimatum. I mean, that's, you're already dealing with the debt, and, now you have to stop talking to this girl, and now you're being kicked out of the home. I mean, I can understand how you would feel. I mean, that you'd want to lash out, or, if something happened, you'd want to defend yourself.
Sure.
Lash out?
Absolutely.
What are you talking about?
But we need to know what happened.
We didn't have access to anything, any guns. He's like, so did you defend yourself? Did your dad do something and you had to defend yourself? And Grant's like, well, I had no ability to defend myself. I mean, yeah, Grant, because without a gun, your dad could knock you down with a fucking feather.
I mean, I can tell that you guys are, like, leading me into a certain way of what.
The only thing we're leading you to is wanting to get the truth from you. Not trying to make you say something that's not true, that's not accurate. The truth, the end. That's it. That's all we want, is the absolute truth. Because it's got to come from you. It can't come from us. It can't come from us. Do we know what happened? Yeah, we already know what happened. But it has to still come from you, the truth. Because the parties involved, that's, in all cases, you want the truth from them. I don't want somebody to say something that's not true. Absolutely not. I want them to say, this is what happened, and here's why it happened. Because sometimes there are things that are justifiable. I'm dealing with a case right now where some people were jumped in a house. There was a shooting, and the people involved in the shooting are not going to be charged because they have the right to defend themselves. Nothing in the state or federal law says you have to be seriously physically harmed or killed. Nothing does. You have a right to defend yourself. Absolutely, you have a right to defend yourself.
Fear of
Sure.
you being hurt or your life.
But Grant, I just need you to come. It's there. It's there. I can see it. It's on the tip of your tongue. You want to say, let me tell you what happened. I'm being honest. I think you're being honest about 95% of the story. I truly do believe you're being honest about that. I think there's that 5% as most people, because they're afraid to actually talk to us and tell us their story. And sometimes we can help justify their story once they tell us the truth. It's a fact. It happens that people are afraid to tell things. They're afraid, oh, I'm gonna get, you're not gonna believe me, you're not gonna like me, you're gonna think bad of me. It's not the case at all. I have no opinion one way or the other. I don't know you. I don't think bad of you. I just don't know you. If you're a friend, I would think different of you, or somebody I know was something else, or had previous dealings. Yeah, I may have an opinion, but I don't have an opinion of you. I just don't, because we don't know each other. We've never contacted each other, have we?
No.
So there's no reason for me, but I've been honest with you the entire time, and I will continue to be honest with you till the remainder of my career at the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. I'll always be honest with you. Call me and say, hey, this. I'm going to tell you. Again, you may not like it, but I'm going to tell you. That's just me. And some people don't do that, and some people will tell you things that are misleading. I'm not going to tell you anything that's misleading, because that's my word. That's my integrity. That's my character. Now's the time, my friend. I want to help you. She wants to help you. And I'm telling you, I'm going to help you. Anything I can do within my power to be honest with you. I'm going to. That's it. But I got to have the truth from you. I can't get it from somebody else. I can't get it from her. I can't get it from other people I work with. It's got to come from you. I already know. I'm telling you, I already know. I got a couple more years. I'll retire. I'm going to take my career with me and be happy with what I've done, because I've been honest with everybody. I'm asking you to be honest with me too. I want to help you.
I mean, apart from the times maybe being wrong, I genuinely don't have anything else that I can say about what transpired during the nighttime.
So when you left your house, everybody was fine.
Yeah,
And when you left Cody,
everything was fine.
well, we got called to the house because Cody didn't show up to work. So law enforcement goes over there, and can you tell us what we found? What do you think we found when law enforcement arrived at your home?
I mean, you guys are talking about guns, and you're talking about other things that and then the website and everything, that something happened to him.
Who's him?
Cody.
Did you do anything to Cody?
No.
Did you do anything to your mother?
No.
Did you do anything to your father?
No.
Do you have any reason to believe that anybody else would harm them?
No, the only thing that I was told was that Cody would take care of it for me. And that's all that I know.
But you didn't tell Cody what your father said to you, correct?
Correct.
So when Cody made those comments to you, what do you believe he meant by that? Have you guys ever talked about?
That he was I thought he was just gonna do what he always does, which is where he just talks about it and he figures out whatever strategy he needs to.
So if anything happened in the home to bring law enforcement there, what would you think happened?
That there was a shooting.
Between whom?
I don't know. Between Cody and my dad.
And why would you think that?
To protect me, or to help me, or to do something with me.
So you're telling me you did not shoot Cody,
No.
your father, or your mother?
No. I mean, I don't know, like, what more I can say.
Well, when law enforcement arrived, that's what they found. So you're the only outstanding child. You're the one that's been having problems with your dad. You're the one that we haven't been able to find for 2 days. Do you understand now why we would be questioning you about this?
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't, like, I wouldn't be saying, like, all, like, I don't know the way to, I don't know, like, what to even say.
We're trying to see if there's anything else that you've left out during the night from when you first came home and confronted your father, or when he confronted you until the time you left, that you've not told us.
There was nothing, there was nothing to that level of confrontation between him and I.
So if anything happened in the home, you believe it would be Cody and him?
Yes. Because I don't have, access to anything.
Well, I can tell you from what we read right now, because you know what the news has said, correct? You know what the news has said.
I only know that first story that I saw, and then I didn't look again.
And what did the first story say?
That there was a shooting in the Salton Circle area, and the investigation is ongoing.
Okay, and what did they say? They say the status of the people inside the house? What did they say? Because all the news have reported the same thing. Every one of them. The sheriff has held a press conference. The sheriff has provided information to the media.
And it's known what has happened in the home.
All that I saw was literally like the paragraph, and then the last sentence was there's an investigation ongoing, and then I didn't.
You saw more, because at Panera, and you said you pulled it up. They had more information then. They had more information than just there's been a shooting. There's a lot more information was given. It was all over the news by that time. The noon news report exactly what had happened. We know that Cody didn't shoot your dad. We know Cody didn't shoot your mom. We know Cody didn't shoot himself. There's something. And
you still haven't asked us the condition of them or anything.
That's because I don't know what the normal proceedings are, but The
normal proceedings are for you to be honest about what happened.
And then we help you understand everything that's going to go on from here on out, of what our responsibilities are.
And we don't believe you're being honest. We feel that you are leaving something out about what happened in that home. And the evidence tells us what happened in the home. But you need to fill in the blanks.
Here's my hand for honesty. Here it is. We're here to help you through this, and you're not going to like something here in just a minute, and I know it's going to hurt you, but you're leaving things out. You've got to take that step and cross over and say, okay, I have to tell you. You'd probably rather tell us what happened before Eva opens that up. You probably want to tell us and save yourself some grief by saying, here, let me tell you. Here's what happened that night that I wasn't completely honest about. Because honestly, Grant, I believe you've been honest about a very lot of things. I really do. Because I can account for your day. I can account for your night. We have a couple very small holes. 95% of the story I already know. That's why you're here with us.
And again, your cell phone's going to put you in the areas. We're going to check exactly where you were throughout the entire time you started this conversation.
No.
So if you went back to the house and did something, or how long you were there, we're going to know.
No, I never did anything like that.
Just things like those. Remember I saw my digital footprint?
Yeah.
ePass tells me where you went. We have a thing called LPRs, license plate readers, in different places all over everywhere. And every time your car passes, or any car, I have somebody, one of our Intel girls, guys put in thing, hey, has this tag went by there? Yep. Has it been in a certain place? Yep. It tells me exactly where you are. Man, I'm telling you. I know it's hard to trust the police. I know people don't trust the police, don't trust the police. You gotta give me the chance to trust me. You have to. I already know. I know what happened. I know. 95% of the story, I know what happened. And so do you. And it's in your face, it's in your emotions, it's in your body language that something is severely, from the minute I met you in the hotel, severely bothering you. And you knew why we were there the minute we came to see you. You knew why we were there. You knew it. And you knew what I was going to tell you at some point during the course of the day, what was going to happen. You already know because you've checked on it. I know you've checked on it. There's a way to tell. I said the best thing about the internet and electronics, they tell a story. And they tell how many times things have been looked at, what's been looked at, how long you spent there. Sheriff can tell me every website I've ever been on this iPhone, everyone, and how long I was there for. Every meme I made up to send to somebody something funny as a joke, they can see it. I'm here to help you, man. I'm here to help you get through all this. I am an honest guy. I'm going to be honest. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to be honest to the very last day that I deal with you. And then when this investigation continues, I'll go on to the next person, be honest with them. But I got to have you step over that little bit line. Basically, we got a line here. And you know, you're so close to wanting to step over that line. You have come all the way from the back side of that table over to here. Now you're right about right here that you want to do it, but you're scared. I get that, my man. I get you're scared. But something happened there that kicked us off unlike anything that ever happened in your life to get to where we are today. And I just need you to tell me exactly what happened. Here's your brother, the guy who's always looked out for you, correct? Paid for your trip to Japan, paid bills. Your dad and your brother have paid $200,000 of this video chat, whatever, with the not the virtual, but the girl in Bulgaria. Dad's pissed about the cost. I'm sure I'd be upset too. $200,000. Think of the car you can have for $200,000, or paid off college debt or whatever. Some girl in Bulgaria got basically your college debt. Now I'm sure your brother and dad may have been as happy if you take that $100,000 and paid off that program. But there's a lot of pressure on you. I get it. I need you to step over, man. You're right there. You're right there at the end, ready to go. We're ready to take the information from you and move forward. We're there. I just need you to take that last step over and say, all right, let me tell you what else. I've been honest about the vast majority of this, but let me tell you what actually happened that night. It's there.
When you're talking about the phones, because I'm illiterate when it comes to phones and Wi-Fi and all that. So you said when your dad cut off your phone a few days ago, you had no phone number, like no way to call, just pick up the phone and call someone, correct?
Right.
So when you would communicate on Twitter, like you said, either on your cell phone or your Surface, you would have to be connected to Wi-Fi, is that correct?
Right.
When you were in your home, were you connected to Wi-Fi?
No.
Talking to these, you know, when you did the Twitter and so on and so forth, were you connected to the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi at your home?
Yes.
Both
No, wait. No, I wasn't. I was on the LTE. I was just on the cell service.
And you can still do the Twitter thing on cell service on
Right.
the LTE at home?
Right.
Okay. And then when you are at the Publix,
Right.
you're on what?
That's on Wi-Fi.
Publix is Wi-Fi?
Right.
Okay. And then you said the next time was at Panera?
Yes.
Was on the Wi-Fi? Both your cell phone and the Surface?
Just the Surface. I hadn't. At the Panera, it was just on the Surface.
Okay. All right, so again, with the whole digital footprint like Danny's talking about, you know that we will know exactly where you were at every time that you connected to Wi-Fi and how long you were connected to the Wi-Fi. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So when you drive away from the Publix or you're driving away from Panera, we will know all of that.
And every hot spot you hit along the way, it's going to make that connection, even just for a brief second. And I'm very familiar with that area out there. I used to live out at 419 and 50, and I know just about where every hot spot is along the way. So it's going to be boom, 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 boom. I want to help you, man. I really do. But you've got to take that little step and trust that we are going to do everything that we can do. And be honest with you, we're going to do it. but I need you to step over. You have to, because what happens if you don't, you know, it's going to be something that we just can't do anything to deal with. We can't. Honestly, I've talked to people. I talked to a guy that was responsible for a lot of bad stuff in South America, and we sat down over the course of a month, and he finally admitted to some horrific things.
And felt a lot better about it, right?
Because he trusted us. Because he realized, the typical thing, the police, all they do is lie to you, or whatever. No, I'm not like that. I'm not in that negotiating either. I just want the truth. I want the truth to be told, no matter which way it is.
And you will feel so much better. We're talking about your family here. So you telling us anything that we're missing, you're going to feel a lot better by telling us the truth.
Guaranteed. It's hard to take that leap of faith. It is. It's like jumping out of an airplane with a parachute. Yeah, if the parachute works the way it's supposed to, it's going to be okay. But the first time I take it, I just got to take it. You got to take that. You got to take that leap of faith with us. I can only do so much with honesty. Honesty.
So what are you not telling us? What happened at that home that you know?
On the tip.
Grant, I know you want to tell us.
It's on the tip of your tongue. I know you want. It's right there. It's that bad taste you want to get out, to get it off your chest and out of your head. But you got to do it. I can't make you say it. I need you to say it, so then we can move forward with the truth. Like I said, we're at 95. We're probably close to getting 97, 98% truth. But that last step, you got to take. You got to tell us. Because if when you say something, you get locked into a story, and it's proven to be false, then you got problems. Because what do people look at during the course of an investigation? Did everybody who was honest and who was dishonest? So there's an explanation to things. You have to explain them, and you're missing that 2, 3, 4, 5% of the truth that you're holding back, and that's the most crucial for you right now is the truth. Sounds crazy, but that's a fact. The truth shall set you free. Emotionally, you're probably going to break down because you've got this all pent up inside you that you want to say it, but you're afraid to say it. I get it. I've talked to people that makes all this look like nothing. This whole investigation like nothing. They're just bad. Then once they get this off their chest, they say, I didn't think I would, but I feel better. I know it's tough, but I feel better. Because now I've told the rest of my story. You can't, it's like reading a book and getting almost to the end, the conclusion, and you just shut it. You got to open up. You got to open up to me, man. I'm here to take that information from you, to get you over this hump, to a little peace in your mind. You'll never have peace without saying, here, let me tell you.
This is exactly what happened.
And I already know. I'll be honest with you, I already know. This isn't my first rodeo. We've been doing this, between the two of us, 50 years? Over 50 years.
Married.
Over 50 years. I've seen
So what is it you need to tell us that we're missing?
Step over.
I mean, the only thing that I know is just that, I left the house later than what I had said.
Did you leave the house with your brother Cody looking like that? Or did you leave the house with your father looking like that? Or your mother? Is that how you left your family?
No. Nobody else went into that house.
Who left your family like this? If you were the one that's been depressed, you were the one that owes money, you were the one that got into a confrontation with your father, who did this to your family? If you were trying to defend yourself or something else happened, we need to know now to help you. So tell us what happened, Grant. We're here to listen to you.
Grant, you need the truth. We're here to make this right. You got to tell the truth. It's on the tip of your tongue, my man. I get that.
Did your father go after you and you try to protect yourself?
No, I didn't do any of this.
there's something that's going to come up that is going to make this all come real. I'd rather it come from you than have to do it that way.
The evidence tells us what happened. You have to fill in the blanks. They can't tell me what happened.
Fact, I know. She never held a gun. She didn't have a gun that night. Fact, he never fired a gun. Fact, he never fired a gun. Never did. This is the person right here, Mom, who always stuck up for you. Something happened so bad that caused her death, your dad's death, and Cody. And I'll tell you just about how it happened. 1, 2, 3. Based on evidence. Based on evidence. I know he did not shoot your mom. I know he didn't shoot your dad. I know he didn't shoot himself. And I know from video surveillance camera in the neighborhood, nobody else came to that house. I know I can account for everybody that went to the house. I know.
So tell us what happened.
I know it. Listen to me, hey. I know. Video surveillance tells me everything that happened this night. I'm telling you. Of people that you'd be surprised who in your neighborhood has video. And I know that there's only 4 people at this house during this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me. You got to tell me, man. You got to tell me. Get over that hoop. The video, if you're sitting there saying no, and video shows something else, guess what? Big problem. Because it will wind up later on that you can't get any help from anybody. A lot of this, what people make decisions on is honesty. Was somebody honest? Of course you're going to be somewhat dishonest at some point. We get that. We understand that. But at some point when you have that come to Jesus time that now I need to really, I got to tell you what happened. This is it. This is it. Video tells me everything I need to know about this from the neighborhood.
And you're the only one left to tell us.
I know it's hard to look at me, Grant, look at my eyes. I know it's tough, man. I do. It's a tough thing to say, but we need to know what caused things at your house that night to become so bad that we're this. He's violent. We know that. He's got a gun on. We get it. Cody just probably went around with a gun because he normally did. He walked in the house and was shot the minute he walked in the house. The minute he walked in. We see trajectory. We find the projectile. We've got everything on that. He's shot over here and is brought over here. See it over there. We found the bullets in the house. Mom's sitting her thing with a glass of wine, doing her thing, and she's shot. You just got to step over and tell me, man. I want to help you. I do.
The evidence is going to be there.
Most people,
we have cartridge cases. We have projectiles.
And fingerprints.
So you just need to tell us what led up to this.
You've been arrested, correct? So we have your fingerprints, correct? You understand that? Physical evidence is something I can't manipulate. It's either there or it's not there. Didn't fire a gun, didn't fire a gun, didn't fire a gun. None of them did. None of them did. Cody did not go home.
Or did your father point a gun at you?
No, there's nothing else that I can say.
Then this is not going to end up the way you want to with what you're telling me right now. Factual items do not support what you're saying. Nothing that we can make up, or I think, or she thinks, or whoever thinks. You got to be honest. And the minute you start being completely honest, and you're pretty honest, I'm not going to say you're not. The minute you tell us what happened to get this to here is the second that we start moving forward with healing. You say you can't something, yes you can. There's something that you have done that proves different. I'm telling you. I don't know how else I can't make it any clearer. There's something there. Just tell me. Tell me. Your emotions, your demeanor, your body language, your eyes tell me everything I need to see about you. You want to tell me in the worst way. You want to get this pain off your chest. Do it. Come forward. Tell the truth. It's like going to church and doing your confessional. When I go to church, a few times I go a year and I get up there and ask for forgiveness, I feel 100% better for all the crappy things I've done and didn't do what I should have done throughout the course of the year. Short with my coworkers, short with my kids, not living the way I should live. Gets me too. And when I go up there and make my confession to the pastor, it makes me feel better.
I mean, there's just nothing else that I can say.
There's nothing else that happened in that home while you were there that would lead up to this.
No,
Your father didn't point a gun at you.
there was nothing else more than what I had said.
Then who do you think did this?
I don't know. I don't have the answer.
I'll give you a few minutes to think about this and think about life decisions and where do we go from here. So a few minutes to collect your thoughts.
Yeah.
I'll give you a few minutes. Do you need a drink or anything, Grant?
No.
Okay.
think.
Mm. Mm.
And the only thing that I have is just the times in which I had left the house. You know, there was an argument when Cody had gotten home, and then there was nothing that he could do to help me. So I don't remember the exact time when I actually left, but I had left later than what I had said.
So you were home when Cody got home?
Yes.
Tell us about that. What time did he get home, and why did he come home?
I mean, he got home at, I think, like 10:30. I still think that's when he got home, was like around 10:30. I don't know why he was able to leave early.
And what was going on at the house when he arrived?
My dad and my mom were arguing, and then I was still just packing up all my stuff, or gathering the things that I could gather. And then when Cody got home, he started to transgress with my dad, and I was still kind of just staying out of it and doing my own thing. And then the end result was still the end result, and then I had to still leave.
And then, so is it true that you still met Cody up the block, or was that?
No.
So you didn't meet him up the
No.
block? So why did you tell us that?
I don't know.
All right, so then, now let's start from the time you and your father started having the argument, about 6:30, you said, when he got home?
Yeah.
Tell us exactly what happened from that time on. Even what was said.
I mean, it was just a lot of yelling. I mean, it was everything that he had been telling me for the past months and months and months about just how I had ruined his retirement and how I had pushed him back, and now, you know, he'd never be able to do the things that he wanted to do because I had saddled him with a lot more expenses. And that I had told him that, you know, once I can get a job, then I have plans to make amends for the things that I had caused for everybody.
Mhm. And he's yelling.
Yeah.
He's heated. Are you yelling back at him?
No, I had never yelled at my dad.
And are you sitting on the couch downstairs, like you said?
I was in the living room, yeah.
And at what point does he put his hands on you?
It's just it's like maybe 5 minutes into the conversation. So, I mean, there wasn't really anything that was a trigger that I can think of.
What was your reaction when he grabbed your shirt and pulled you up?
I mean, I had always been passive, so I mean, I didn't fight back or anything like that. I just tried to get my grounding, and then and then we were just standing, and it was just continued on.
And then what?
And then after that, I started the whole process of gathering everything.
And where's your mom at this point?
She was still in her office.
Did she intervene at all?
She had gotten up to say that, you need to settle down, or some sort of diffusing statement that she always used to make. And then my dad yelled at her to stay out of this. And then she just went back into there.
Okay, and then what? What happened next?
Then it was just a lot of yelling and confrontation between me and Dad, but there wasn't anything more physical about it. And like I said, I was just going up and about, getting my stuff and taking it out to my car and getting back whatever I could gather.
And what'd your dad do while you were doing that?
He was just following me around.
Just making sure you were gathering your stuff to get out?
My possessions and not taking anything of his.
And how long did that go on before Cody shows up?
That was for 4 hours or something like that.
So you did that for 3 hours?
Yeah.
Gathering your stuff?
And dealing with Dad, and because it wasn't just like he
pack up those 2 little bags you brought. It was 3 hours?
Yeah, he wouldn't just. I went onto my computer to back up some stuff onto some flash drives and all that other stuff, but it wasn't just with him where I could just go and do my thing. He would stop me, and then we would talk for an extended period of time, and then I would start to do my thing again, and then it would stop again, and that's all it was.
Was your father wearing this?
Yeah.
And what about that gun on his waist?
No.
He didn't have that on?
No.
Is this normal?
No. I hadn't seen him have his gun since high school.
So he doesn't walk around like this normally?
No.
Why do you think he would be like this?
I don't know if it's because of what he had told me, that if I came back that he would kill me.
And like you said, you're afraid of him.
Yeah.
But we're here to this. This is the person that is coming to solve the problems for you, or came home to solve the problems. There's the one who always sticks up for you, including talking to the girl. She talked to the girl in Bulgaria, didn't she?
Yeah.
She had conversations, said that you're not a bad guy, and how this breakup basically has affected you, didn't she? Told him it was bad. Here's the problem. The dad. This one's behind you, supports you. That one's behind you, supports you. This one, I'm sure, cares about you, but is upset. Because like you said, you have ruined his plans for retirement, so he can't retire because of the financial loss. How much money did Cody give you? Approximately. 60,000?
Yeah. I guess.
Dad gave you how much?
100,000.
Mom gave you how much?
It's 30,000 or something.
So around 200,000. And the vast majority of this money went to some girl on the internet. So they're upset. I get that. But we know he didn't fire a gun. We know she didn't fire a gun. We know he didn't fire a gun. He shot the second he walks in the house.
At what point does he come into the house?
It's like 10:30.
And where does he enter?
Through the garage.
Where does he park his car?
Under the awning thing.
Outside, not in the garage?
Right.
So do you see him walk in? Or hear him come in?
No.
So you're upstairs maybe, or where are you when he comes home?
When he came home, I was gathering some of the power bars into my little shoulder satchel thing.
And where are the power bars, in the kitchen, or?
In the kitchen.
So you see him come in?
I hear the door, but then that's it.
And then when do you see him physically?
I see him when he walks into the kitchen.
And what do you guys, what is said?
He asks me what I'm doing, and I basically tell him the quick, short story, because at the time my dad and my mom are talking.
Where were they?
They were in her office.
Okay, and what is the short story you tell
That
Cody?
That Dad caught me still talking to the girl that had caused all the problems, and that he was kicking me out of the house because I had broken his rule.
Did you tell Cody that he threatened to kill you if you came back home?
No, I still didn't tell Cody about that. I had told Cody previously when I went to Cornerstone that that's what Dad was going to do if I had made any more mistakes, not the specific one that I had caused, but if I had made any more mistakes. And then Cody told me that he was going to do that when I went into one of the side offices with him before they officially dropped me off.
When you went to Cornerstone?
Right.
So your dad had told you in the past before that he would kill you?
Right.
For what reason?
If I basically did anything related to this, again, costing him a lot of money.
And Cody knew about that?
Right. He just didn't know about the one that was just said. Whether or not he knew from like the paper that my dad had written out of all the consequences and everything like that.
When did your dad write this paper?
Before they came to get me on the 4th. I mean, I don't know the exact time.
Do you know where the paper is or what it's written on?
It's written on like a greenish yellow college ruled just piece of paper and pen.
In the office or bedroom or?
I don't know where he keeps all of his stuff.
All right, so what else do you and Cody talk about?
So then after talking about that, he says that he'll take care of it, and then him and my dad, they're the ones that always yell and raise their voices and everything like that.
So did your dad eventually enter the kitchen, or did Cody go to your dad in the office?
No, my dad came in when he heard that me and Cody were talking.
And what was the conversation then?
When they started to talk, I just left the room, and I just went back upstairs.
So you didn't hear what they talked about?
I mean, not in any, it was more just that he was defending that it's just, that I just did this, and that it's not like it's costing any money.
Were they yelling? Did they raise their voice? Or they were talking?
They were yelling. Did you hear
any threats or?
My dad had said that that everybody had agreed that if I had done this, that I would have to go. That there wasn't any more wiggle room or second chances or anything like that. And then, he came around to the base of the staircase, and then he told me that I need to go.
Your father did?
Yeah. And then I told him that I was just trying to pick up the last few things that I needed to. There was like a bag of a trash bag of like my clothes, that I had still not unpacked from when I got back from Cornerstone, that I just, had to gather and put into my car, all that, just some random stuff. And then, I don't know what time I actually left, but I think it was closer to like midnight or something.
And when you left, where was your mother?
When I left, my mom was still just in her office.
And where was your dad?
Dad and Cody were just yelling inside the kitchen.
So when you left, you heard them yelling?
Not really yelling anymore, but they were. It was basically just the same exact conversation that had been going on, where there was nothing left, and then Dad looked through some of my things to make sure that I wasn't taking anything that wasn't mine. I think the only thing that he had a problem with was that I had taken like some of my my paperwork bills from like the Chapman Law Group. But then since I wasn't the one paying for it, that they would need those, but then I still just ended up keeping it because I figured nothing else was going to like be covered for me or anything. So then after I left, I took the Fort Christmas Road, that connected up with 50, and then I was just at the Publix for the rest of the time.
The same Publix we talked about earlier on
Right.
419. So from about midnight till 7 a.m., like you said, you were at Publix. And then is everything else the truth as far as the job interview
The job
and so on and so
all
forth?
the rest of the times were accurate, and when I looked at the site, I only saw a small blurb.
So when did you learn that your family was dead?
I had been worried since last night when I was just in the hotel, but I knew when you guys told me. I mean, like, I knew when you guys had told me,
You already knew though.
but
You already said, you knew.
At any point, did you feel like you needed to reach out to Cody and see if he was okay, or?
I just didn't want to call anywhere. I just didn't want to know.
But you couldn't call?
Well, I mean, you had brought up the hotel.
Hotel room was there.
But I just
Phone
didn't
works
even,
there.
I didn't even think of to use that.
You got a medical background, correct?
Yes.
You ever been to an autopsy?
No.
An autopsy tells us a lot of things. Cause of death, a lot of times how close somebody was to something. Again, remember what I told you earlier? She didn't fire a gun, he didn't fire a gun, he didn't fire a gun. So they didn't get into a shooting amongst themselves inside the house. Angles tell us a lot of things. Dad was over here when he got shot. The bullets in the cabinet and in the wall. We know that. That's one of those facts we just can't dispute. I see where shell casings are over here. See where shell casings are in here. See where shell casings are there. Cody was shot the minute he walked in the door when he first got home. Bullet went through him from his head to the back of his head, hit the door frame, and impacted into the wall. He never fired. He never fired. She never fired.
And we know what time Cody left work. I mean, from his boss, from his coworkers. And you gotta remember, we've talked to everybody before we talk to you. So we know what time he left work. We know why he told his coworkers and his boss why he left work. And we know what time he got home. And we have text messages that he has sent people afterwards. So based on what you're telling us, that he comes home and has this confrontation, talks to you, talks to his dad, you leave about midnight, and he's still there talking to your dad in the kitchen, none of that adds up.
Senator can approximate the time of death based on the body. Now's the time, Grant. Now's the time, buddy. I'm just.
So I believe this, and this happened while you were still present in the house. And for whatever reason, you don't want to tell us. We understand your father was abusive, and we understand that he was the asshole. And if he threatened you, that he was going to kill you when you came back, you were probably in fear, were you not? So did your brother come home to try and defend you, and then this gunfight happened, and you got so scared that you left?
No, I mean, I had left when I had said that I had left.
Which time? Around 9 or midnight?
No, around the midnight time.
Again, we know stuff from the medical examiner office of times. Said this a couple of times. He never fired a gun. He never fired a gun. She never fired a gun. Nobody did. Nobody in the house fired a gun. Fact. We know.
I'm going to get DNA off the guns that are on scene and the cartridge casings.
And all
Any
that.
reason to believe that your fingerprints or your DNA will be on any of those weapons or the cartridge cases that are on the scene?
I mean, not that I can think of. I mean, I know that me and Cody had, you know, like, I mean, we had used each other's guns before in the past, like when we go to the range, but.
But you
What?
said you had no access to these guns now.
Right. I mean, but yeah, I mean, that was a long time ago. So, I mean, there's,
So the gun that's still on scene and the gun on your father's waistband, is your DNA or fingerprints going to be on it?
not that I can think of.
Let me throw something at you. We pulled financial records from your dad, you, Cody, and your mom. Remember that payment you made?
Which,
The payment on that bill you had?
The $599.99?
I saw that one. Well, guess what got paid right about the same time?
what?
$33,000 of debt was paid off of his credit card. Same time. Within a very short time of each other. Those things go together. Records show what was happening.
Wait, what happened?
$33,000 on, I think your dad, it was a USAA credit card. He had $33,000 was paid to pay off that credit card. I just don't know where else to go to get you to come around, because it does not make any logistical sense of what you're telling us. It doesn't. If these two got in the shooting, we would know. We would know they shot each other. We'd know that.
But why mom?
Things just got so bad and out of hand, like never it's been before in your life. Never been before in your life, or your family's life. He's pissed. His future, his retirement, his plans are being upset by you because of the financial cost. I would almost bet this is just a horrible, bad incident that on any other day wouldn't happen. But you and me both know, as does she, what happened that night. You're coming around, and I really appreciate it, Grant. I do appreciate it. Now you're starting to tell more of the truth. Everybody minimizes when they're in a stressful situation. They do. My boss can start yelling at me and try to minimize the effect of thinking about what am I going to do? How do I explain to him what happened legitimately? Not that I want to be a liar, but let me explain to him how legitimately something happened. How I bumped my fender on my car, got a ding in it. Try to think, well, how am I going to explain this?
And you've already told us a lie. This whole Matt thing is bullshit.
So when people start telling little fibs, they add up to big ones. And I told you, just tell the truth. I already know the truth. I know the truth. You can't convince somebody of something they already know the facts of. Walk outside today, you try to tell me it's night, and I know it's noon. I know it's daytime, right? We both agree? Here's the time. Tell me what happened. Tell me what really happened in this very short time to get to where we are here. I'm telling you 100 times. None of them fired a gun. None of them. What they call gunshot residue. There's no gunshot residue on anybody's hands. Nobody fired a gun. You didn't shoot him. He didn't shoot him. Neither one of them shot them. I'm telling you. Look at everything. He walked in the door, shot them, and he walked in the door. Because right down here is a bag he carries in. Dropped right there where he opened the door, walked in, and gets shot. His dad's lunchbox right there. Dad came home, was probably messing with it right around here. Arguments, whatever's going on, but there was even an argument. Dad gets shot, and he drops right here. And most likely either got pulled or crawled over here. Over here. I wonder what DNA is going to be in that blood right there. What's going to be on your dad's pants? We got his pants. We take all their clothes, everything that we take. Your DNA going to be found on his pants?
No.
You sure? There may be something, a question I'm asking, I already know the answer to.
I know, but my DNA shouldn't be on his hands.
Shouldn't? Okay. Explain to me, I just need you to tell me, why the minute he walks in, he gets shot. He's shot, it's right there, just above there is what it is. We got an investigator of the autopsy right now, and the doctor's saying, here's what happened, here's where he shot. Cody shot right below the eye, it comes out the back of his neck, and into the wall. Dad shot twice. And the doctor basically said he could have crawled from here to here because of the injury.
And we're gonna look at their clothing, your clothing, for DNA, gunpowder, blood spatter, all of that.
Inside of your car, all the stuff that's in your room, all your electronic footprint, we're gonna look at. We will look at it, we will see it. It's a whole lot easier for you just to say what happened than to have to come up here and say, here, boom, 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 because that may change the direction of this case severely. Of whether somebody says, here, let me tell you what happened, you got me here. This blew up, he's been threatening me, he's upset at me, I've ruined, his financial success and his plans for retirement with the house.
Cody tried to get involved and you wanted to protect Cody. That makes sense. You and Cody are close.
I don't have the answer for anything else.
Okay. This is the last time before I'm gonna walk out now, and then I'm done. And I'm done for good. When I'm done, I'm done. They won't let me, hey, can I come back and talk to you? The minute I walk out that door with your story is where you stay at. That's your lot in life. I am more than willing to sit here all day and all night if you want to talk, to find the facts. But I can't, I told you from the beginning, I will not deal with somebody that's not being truthful with me. You're not being truthful. You're not telling me the truth. You've lied, and we've forgiven you over that. We've forgiven you over it. You can't lie about this, Grant. You can't. This is too important for your family of what has happened. There's not somebody out running around the United States that killed them. There's not. There's nobody out there, some hidden killer. There's not. You don't show the remorse that you should for someone who's lost 3 family members. Body language, eyes, and demeanor. Here's the time, man. I know it's tough. Tell the truth, because when I walk out, there is no another day.
And it's gonna look worse for you when we prove it by the DNA, the gunpowder, the blood spatter, fingerprints. Now is the time for you to be honest with us and is exactly what happened in that house before you left.
We'll be there for weeks gathering evidence. We are going to build the case because we're going to disprove the fact that nobody else came in this house. We already know that answer. But at some point, we will build a case to the conclusion that nobody else went in.
And I don't have anything else that I can say. My brother even said the same thing of like, when all this financial stuff was happening, like why I couldn't show like sadness towards it. And I just don't know. I mean, I just don't know what else to say.
Do you not feel bad for doing this to your family?
I don't know.
You don't know what? You don't know if you feel bad for doing this to your family?
I mean, I've been getting blamed for the last half a year for everything, and I've been trying to move forward into a positive direction. And then every day I'm reminded of all the trouble that I had caused. And then I keep being told the same thing over and over again, but there's nothing that I can do to change it.
Do you regret doing this to each one of your family members?
I didn't do that to each one of them.
Who did? Who has such an axe to grind with your family that they shot him twice in the head, him in the head, and her? Who has it? Here, you sit in my seat for a minute. Sit in my seat. Get out of it here. Sit right here. Come here. Sit right here. Get out of that seat. Sit right there for me. Sit on it. Look at it from our side. Look at it from our side. Think of it from the way we look at it. Independent. What are we here for? One thing. The blindfolded ladies with justice. Justice is all we're here for. Justice. Look at it. Who has a motive? Who has a motive to hurt your family? You could say Jason, but we already know where Jason was. I can account for every bit of Jason's activity. Every bit of it. Jason gave a statement. What's the first thing we looked at? Is Jason telling the truth? Can we verify what he told us? And in quick succession, we did. He said I was XXXXS. And he went, yep, he sure was.
And we know exactly when Cody left work.
And know when Cody got home. And know when Cody stopped answering his phone. And know when bills were paid. And knows when vehicles left. And know when phones tagged hotspots. Know it all. Know every bit of it. Now it's time for you to admit to what you know. Because you're saying, I didn't do something, I don't know something.